Hello, everybody. This is probably the last video I will put in this series, and then maybe someday I'll do some more and have on a different shirt, right? So this final one is about how to find additional resources as you might discover some needs and some pressing goals about supporting your learners that occur when we try to do particular readings. And so you, the teacher, are going to know the best of what our next moves might be. And I want to show you how you can locate some of those materials and really decide to put them in play. This one will be a lot shorter because everything that I'm going to show you is really a printout, kind of like a old school method. But it might be awesome to even print some of these things for yourself so that you can kind of go through them and make some choices about having some of these available and doing them low tech if you want to. Because again, we do a lot of things on the computer. It would probably be great to plan just guaranteeing some things that are not going to be, and then do those in between a lot of computer use to be sure that you're varying the way that you're having the kids participate. All right. So again, here's home base. That's your name. It's got it there. It tells you, lets you know. Um, I'm going to go just into Core ELA at the top. Takes us to where all the units are. And you don't have to go into a particular grade level to find these materials. It's down there for all of them. And it's the same, I think, no matter what grade level you go into. For the heck of it, let's just be sure. So here's 7, right? And I'm going to go down here and looks like what I would see if I went to 10. I think so. It looks like it might have grown a little bit. So I don't know. Couldn't hurt anything to choose your grade level and pick particularly awesome things to go with that. Um, Let me show you based on just 7 what's down here. And you'll notice that there are particular materials related to, if we open this up, foundational skills, grades 6 through 8. It has a table of contents that's electronic. Again, so these would be things that if you noticed, we needed to work on and kind of intentionally do some more practice with, then those are your 4 main, I think, targets. And again, this is a pretty good workbook. It's pretty recent. It's based on the science of reading. And so it would be a good choice for you to use as an additional resource. There are also student glossaries. So if I come down here, I think that'd been one of the requests, is there such a thing? And if you wanted to, because I don't think they have that tab to just click into it when they're in the digital, but you could certainly, chunk this thing, do certain words, copy and paste it, modify it however you wanted to, put it in a Google slide. Because here's an entire glossary of potential things that you might want your students to have access to. You could just download it and have it on their computers and desktops. You could put it in Canvas. You could put it a lot of places. Okay. So here is also a teacher glossary. Let's just look at that for a second. And it's got things that may be specific to teaching. And so that's kind of awesome. If we don't ourselves know what particular words are, that'll be awfully hard for us to make that teaching effective. And so you could just, kind of look through this and see if there's any that you thought you knew, or are there any new ones that you haven't seen before. Okay. And then we're getting real specific as I keep going. The English Learner Handbook, and this is the teacher edition. So it does have a lot of those particular questions and supports, um, and how this could particularly flow, and, and what different kind of ways you might make it more powerful or more interesting. And again, this one has its own material, and it looks like in a lot of ways it's even um, got some different goals in mind, right? So letters of the alphabet, very early material, very early, but possible, depending on who the beginners are, that this might be some of the goals you want to work on to help parallel some of the other lessons that are in your class. Here is, spelling my name. And you'll notice, I think it's probably progressive, and that at the beginning, it's probably the easiest and works its way up. But again, to go with that teacher version, here's the student one. and it's called an English Learner Guide. And it's got a lot of the same kind of curricular path goals. Um, Units are again modified and a little bit different. So this would be some food for thought to think about when we're working with particular learners. And then really a lot of these are less exactingly going toward ELs, but a lot of relation to what we're trying to do. Is that here's some of the research documents that support why we're doing these things. Again, here's a glossary just packed with different strategies related to specific goals, vocabulary, speaking, reading, and writing. And so, again, there's multiple options for us to try when something wasn't quite the way we wanted it to be. We could try another strategy. And again, there's more specific information about the EL end of unit assessments right here and kind of explains those and shows, how they would parallel the path for the other students. And then again, there's other really specific material here, like a language transfer handbook. This could be really useful to particular students when you discover a need to kind of go early or work on something that another student may not need. And then again, a word study guide and a fluency teacher guide. So some of these are more familiar terms to elementary, but I can see that it's starting to come into our resource because it's not just here in Kansas City that it's necessary, that we're really having to build some foundations with some of our older students. So just know that all that's there as you're trying to make some choices again about working with beginners. Hope that's helpful. Thank you.